From the Mount Washington Radio Group Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. The family of a popular veteran New Hampshire Fish and Game officer who was killed in an off-duty motorcycle crash in Wolfboro last summer is expressing its thanks for the support it's gotten. Conservation Officer Sergeant Brian Abrams, who lived with his family in Conway, died in early August of injuries he sustained after he was ejected from the motorcycle as he was leaving a horse riding event one of his daughters was participating in. He was 49. Governor Maggie Hassan was one of many dignitaries, conservation officers, and other law enforcement officers who attended Brian's funeral service in North Conway. Mary Ann Abrams, the mother of Brian's two daughters, says she's thankful for and appreciative of the many cards, flowers, and donations her family got after Brian died. She says it was a comfort to know Brian touched so many lives, and she'd like to thank everyone for their loving support and kindness through the difficult time for her family. Family and colleagues are mourning the death of Northeast Credit Union's president and chief executive officer in a snowmobile crash early Saturday morning. New Hampshire Fish and Game officers say 62-year-old Peter Kavalauskas of Dover died after hitting trees on the shore of Millen Lake in Washington, New Hampshire, about 1 o'clock in the morning. Northeast Credit Union has branches in Conway, Berlin, Gorham, Plymouth, and other locations. Foster's Daily Democrat quotes relatives as saying the Kavalauskas family has had a vacation home on nearby Highland Lake for 60 years, and he knew the terrain well. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities say the crash is still under investigation, but believe speed was a contributing factor. The crash came just days after Kavalauskas announced he was retiring from the credit union after nearly 30 years. In Maine news, in the rural towns and cities of northern New England, a rising drug abuse problem is overwhelming law enforcement, impacting hundreds of infants each year and prompting calls to action by state leaders who say enough is enough. Maine Republican Governor Paul LePage used his State of the State address to highlight the, quote, troubling epidemic of drug use. New Hampshire Democratic Governor Maggie Hassan also raised the specter of a growing drug problem. Hassan urged lawmakers to focus on improving treatment and halting addiction before it begins. LePage offered a vastly different strategy, focused primarily on bolstering drug enforcement to, quote, hunt down dealers and get them off the streets. In sports, the Manchester Monarchs shut out the Albany Devils 3-0 yesterday. The Portland Pirates lost their last game Saturday before the All-Star break to the Hershey Bears 2-1 in Pennsylvania. Franconia's Olympian Bodie Miller finished in 8th place in the downhill at Sochi this weekend. Conway Olympian Leanne Smith was 20th in the downhill, but went off course and out in the slalom, so she's recorded as did not finish. Her teammate Julia Mancuso won bronze in the super combined. And in the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks beat the Boston Celtics 102-91 last night. In the weather today, mostly cloudy with a chance of snow this morning, then partly sunny with isolated snow showers this afternoon. Highs of the low to mid-20s. Northwest winds around 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 25. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 2 to 4 above. Northwest winds gusting up to 25 in the evening, becoming light. And partly sunny Tuesday, highs around 18. From the Mount Washington Radio Group Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.